100.
Welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday. And I do mean Sunday. I'm running solo today. I ain't got no Big E. I ain't got no Jonah. They had to take care of business on a Sunday, but the show must go on because that's what we do. We keep it 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Like I said, we're going to go over the brackets, who made it, who went home, who's getting ready for wrestling and basketball, and who's getting ready for the second round, folks. I tell you, football Friday night was a little bit crazy. Snow came in, Christmas came early, and guess what? Some teams wasn't ready for it. As we jump into these brackets, but we're going to talk a little college first, man. I tell you. If you're a Sooner fan, I know you're sad because they're sitting at 5-5. Man, I tell you, you get beat by West Virginia, a team that's 3-6, and this is what you put up. You get beat. Get beat by a team that you're 10 times better than. Come on, Sooners. We got to do better than that. Gundy had to go to the bullpen to get the win because he didn't want to be like the Sooners having another loss in Oklahoma. So I just tell you right now, our state teams, boy, I know they both play next week for Bedlam, but I tell you, it's gonna be one of those games that you're gonna be like asking yourself, do you really want to go? Or do you want to sell your tickets? For one, the weather's gonna be kind of chilly, so why would you want to sit and watch that game? You can stay at home and hey, you can stay at home and watch that game with a bowl of chili because both teams are not playing real good. I give it up to Spencer Sanders coming in and relieving Gundy. Gundy for his first start, not bad. You know, he's still a freshman. You can tell he's still making freshman mistakes, but he'll get better as time comes. But I just tell you right now, OU, I don't know what to think about them. They can't tackle. They can't tackle. They can't beat a backup quarterback to save their life. I know Venables was over there on the when he was doing his press conference. He was scratching his head and he didn't want to look at the camera. I don't blame you, Venables. I wouldn't want to look at the camera too. I know Lincoln Riley left, and he left them in some bad shape. But come on, guys. We're better than West Virginia. The worst team in the Big 12, and we get beat by them up there at West Virginia. A team that's 3-6. 3-6, folks. Not a 500 team, but 3-6. But I just kind of tell you, Alabama got back on the winning track yesterday against Ole Miss. Came down to last second. Great play by the defense, putting the ball away. But Tennessee got back on the winning track. Georgia's the real deal. That's why they're number one. As you can see, they're number one. Clemson, like I said, they got beat last week. Michigan keep doing their thing. It's going to come down to Michigan, Ohio State, and see who's going to win that conference. But I just tell you right now, TCU is the real deal in the Big 12. Texas, man, I don't know. I know people keep saying Texas is back. No, they're not. That quarterback, guys, folks, do me a favor. Get that guy some wake up. Get him some coffee. Get him something. The guy always looks asleep when he's playing quarterback. The offense just looks so stagnant. It sits there, don't get them moving. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Texas, man, I know OU and Texas trying to go to SEC. Let's cancel that contract and let's start all over. You guys might need to go to the Pac-12 because I tell you right now, you just don't look good enough to go to SEC. You're going to be the last. You're going to be the laughing stock in the SEC, and that's me keeping it 100. Even though I'm missing my man Big E and I'm missing Jonah, but it's okay. We're going to let the show go on. But like I said, we got a lot of high school football to talk about. I have a special guest today, the outstanding running back that was at OU back in the 2006, Mossis Madu, the Norman native. Went played, at OU, went play a little pro ball, then play a little Canadian ball. He's going to join us as his Bishop McGuinness. Get ready for the Coweta No-Star Dogs. Hey, you already know. They just keep rocking and rolling. That's what they do over there at Coweta, rocking and rolling. Coach Harper got them boys ready to go, man. But like I said, we got some big ball games. You see, I have these two helmets on the table for a reason because they will meet up in week 2. You got Jones versus Dunn. I tell you right now, these two guys know everything about each other. From their favorite food, to their favorite pair of socks, to their favorite pair of Fruit of the Loom underwears. You heard me say it first, Fruit of the Loom underwears, folks, because these guys have been together for almost 10 years, coaching, living together, and everything else. But now they got to come down and meet each other in the first round. It's not what they wanted. They wanted to meet each other in the championship. But I haven't picked who's going to win the game yet. All I can say, whoever wins that game will have a chance to win their gold ball. Is Carl Albert going to get their 17th ball? Or is Dell City going to get their first ball since 1976, folks? And believe me, I was 4 years old when they got their first ball. But I tell you, we got some great things coming of looking, like I said, looking forward. We're going to jump into this Big 6A as they took care of business. Some of these teams had bye. If you're in the 6A big and 6A small, they all had a bye. So some teams got to relax and not have to play in the snow, but some people had to get out in the snow and see how it went. So we're going to jump into this bracket, then we'll bring on Mossis Madu and have a little conversation with him and talk about his Bishop McGuinness McGuinness and get them ready, see what they're going to do for the second round going up against Coweta. But like I said, we'll jump into this real quick. You had, I'm sorry, here we go. You had, Bigsby will be taking on Edmond Memorial. Oh, I'm sorry, is that right? No. Ed Memorial got beat. I'm sorry, folks. I ain't got my side dogs with me. Bigsby be taking on Enid as they played early this year, and Enid kind of got beat down by them early in the year. They got beat down 77-14. Can Rashawn Woods find a way to, make up those points? Yes, he can, because it's called playoffs, folks. When you get in the playoff, anything can happen. As you can see, you might see some upsets in this second round because, like I said, some people had the week off. But Bigsby, they lost their last game, so they're inching to get back on the field and play somebody. As Union knocked them off last time. As Jinx knocked them off a couple weeks ago. So I know Bigsby's ready to get back on the field and take care of business to their next opponent. So you'll have Enid taking on Bigsby in the second round. That'll be this Friday night. And then you'll have, you had Jinx knocking off Edmond. Jinx knocking off Edmond, 68-14. I like to say, they beat up on my man Cedric Frazier's team. I like to say good luck to Cedric in his next chapter. Man, was an outstanding player this year for the Edmond North. They made it to the playoffs in almost a decade, but it's good to see those guys back in there. Edmond North and Edmond Memorial. Edmond Memorial is still young, so I could see them next year making a run in the Big 6A. They got the great outstanding quarterback to be coming back next year, so look for big things for both of the Edmond teams. Santa Fe was in the championship last year, and they didn't get in the playoffs this year. That just tells you how the cycle of football goes. Anything can happen, but like I said, you'll have next week, you'll have Jinx. They'll be taking on Jinx will be taking on Mustang, and they'll be taking on Jacoby Johnson and his guys. I tell you, this game is going to be really interesting watching Jinx and Mustang go up because, like I said, Mustang had the bye, so they got a chance to rest and relax, and got a chance to prepare for Jinx. I'm pretty sure who they was preparing for this week coming into week 2, round 2. Does Jacoby have enough? I think Jinx got some guys back. Got the running back Curl, man, the kid, you saw what he did against Bigsby, so I don't think he'll have a hard time running against that Mustangs defense, which, Mustang is led by that outstanding, defensive back and receiver in Jacoby Johnson that signed with Oklahoma, so you'll see them two hook up next week, but I think Jinx will knock them off, and Jinx and here we go. Jinx and Bigsby will play again here in it'll be like in 3 weeks. It'd be like 2 weeks ago they played. They'll be playing again here in the semifinals. So that's who I have in the semifinals. I'm gonna have Jinx and Bigsby going at each other again. I think Bigsby wants that rematch, and I can see that. Like I said, I'm not gonna get a jump ahead too far in that game, but I can see them two playing each other in the semifinals. And on the other end, you got you had a Wassel playing. Who did a Wassel play? Wassel played Westmore, which put the end of the Zoe season. They beat them 41-7. The biggest question is Zoe gonna come back? This show is called Keep It 100. Zoe, he beat Moore, and he made it to the playoff, and he beat Westmore, and he beat, I think, UConn. 3 wins. Is that gonna get you to come back next year and coach this team again? I know he got some young players, but it just looks like is that enough to bring you back? Because you had a losing season last year. Do you have another losing season this year? Even though you made it to the playoffs, they took more teams this year, because if they didn't take the top 6 teams, he wouldn't have got in again. So that's going to be really interesting. Looking forward to next few weeks to see what the administration do with Zoe. Great coach. Somebody's going to pick him up if he does get let go, because he's an outstanding coach. A guy can coach. Everybody knows that. He's played some time in the NFL. Played at Missouri back in the Big 8 days in Missouri, with Chase Daniels and those guys were winning ball games back then. So believe me, somebody will pick up Zoe if something does happen to him. Hopefully it don't happen, so everything can keep going. And then you got Broken Arrow over Norman, 47-20. They will take on Broken Arrow will take on Union, which should be a good game. I think they play early in the year. It was a tighter ball game. I think that's one of Union's low-scoring games all year long. So that should be pretty good to see Union and and Broken Arrow take on each other, and then Owasso's going to take on my man Six Killer. His team had a week off, but I tell you, man, Six Killer's been putting up numbers, and I'm telling you, the more and more he plays in this playoff and people get to see him, somebody's going to pick this young man up because he's a winner and he's finding a way to win, and that's your sleeper in the 6A big. I would say Norman North is your sleeper with Six Killer. And his running back, he got him back healthy, so they're doing big things. So I'm looking to see Norman North and Union in the semifinals, and then we'll go from there. And then it's really interesting to see what's going to happen overall. Then you go over to the 6A2 small, 6A2 small, which you got Stillwater be taking on Bartlesville. Was Bartlesville, they got the win over Lawton. Close game, 36-20. Like I said, with that snow falling down, it made things a little interesting. But, Gunner Gundy will be, taking on Bartlesville, and I think they would beat those guys and see themselves in the semifinals. My big upset in the 6A2, I got Booker T beating up Deer Creek. Even though Booker T, they beat up PC North 47-7. They will take on Deer Creek, and Deer Creek's only loss they got this year is to Choctaw. So it'd be interesting to see what they can do against Booker T, because Booker T still got some guys. They got the quarterback in Boone that signed with Air Force. It's getting recruited by Air Force, and then you got Michael Tees, the outstanding wide receiver defensive back that's going to Arkansas. So would Deer Creek have enough to keep up with those two young men? Because even though Booker T's not having the year they still are Booker T. They got that tradition to get to the playoffs and win. They won some state championships before in 5A, so they know how to win. So, but does Deer Creek have enough to keep up with them? Then you'll have, you have Sand Springs getting the win over, over PCO 31-21. They're going to go in there into the Yellow Jackets house, where Coach Corbin is looking to get his first gold ball. He got his first district championship this year, so it tells you he got those boys rocking and rolling over there in the Yellow Jacket land, stinging them what they do best. But he got some players in R.J. Jackson, Laurel, the running back, Luray, I think it's Luray Trail, the outstanding little running back for them guys, and just with getting some of his guys back that's been hurt. So I look for Choctaw to beat up on Sand Springs. I know they played each other last year when they was in the same conference, so they know a little bit about each other. But I think Choctaw got too much for Sand Springs to keep up with the Yellow Jackets, and I think the Yellow Jackets run them off the field. But then you got Muskogee taking on Ponca City, which will be a good game. I know. Muskogee lost some guys, had some guys beat up in that Stillwater game. Hopefully, having this bye week and then going into this week against Ponca City, they get a chance to get some of their guys back. I think they would beat Muskogee will beat Ponca City, and then you'll have that clash of the two of the better quarterbacks in 6A. Still versus my man Jamal Fricklin, Birdman. I think he's ready to fly himself into the championship against Gunner Gundy and let everybody know the Muskogee Roughers are the real deal. I know McKnight got Choctaw winning or Stillwater, but I think Muskogee, if everybody's healthy, man, and Bird got all his weapons, it's gonna be a long night for Choctaw. But like I said, they both got to take care of business this Friday night. I'm just predicting the future a little bit, so I can't say what's gonna happen. But looking at it on paper, if you're looking at it on paper, sometimes it don't always go that way on paper, because I really thought OU was gonna be better this year on paper, and guess what? They're 5-5. That's just a little kick at OU. Sorry about that, folks, if you're a Sooner fan, but OU gotta do better. But like I said, man, looking into those two is going to be a great game if it does happen. Muskogee and Choctaw happen. It's going to be a great game. So, like I said, we got some big stuff. Like I said, I don't want to jump into 5A yet because I want to talk to Mr. Moses and talk about the 5A, because I think 5A is wide open. I think you got some good matchups. I am upset. My Bombers did get beat by Piedmont, the #1 team in that district. Everybody in that district got beat that was in that 5A district with the Bombers. From the Bombers to Elgin to MacArthur to El Reno. Man, I think that district was just, man. I mean, how do I say it? How do you say it? Was it just a fluke, or was it just a joke? Because I mean, I got a chance to go watch the Bombers, practice the other night, and I tell you, man, they look really good. I saw Coach Hall walk around with his chest poked out. You saw the Bombers running around. You saw all the coaches having a pad and pen in their hands, ready to go and make things happen. And then you kind of look at it and you're like, man, what's going on? I thought the Bombers were back. My mom even called me the other day and said, what happened to them Bombers? I don't know. I mean, I wish I could tell you. I mean, I would love this. I had them as my dark horse. Somebody called and texted me and said, what happened to your dark horse? And that's what happens when I speak. When I say something and it ain't right, people's going to let me know about it on Twitter or on text or whatever social media I got. They're going to let me know about it. But I don't know what happened to the Bombers. I'm kind of sad. I wish it was better than that, but it didn't work out that way. So hopefully Coach Hall can get those guys in a better predicament next year and make another run, because I mean they got enough talent. They are going to lose that outstanding quarterback for the last 4 years has been under center for them, and DJ Irvin. He's going to go off to Air Force and do big things for him. The kid's a winner. But I've talked to Coach Thomas twice since then, and I just tell you, man, it's you score 41 points, you should win the ball game. But the problem is defense didn't show up because they gave up 60 points. You can't give up 60 points and think you're gonna win the ball, especially if you're the number 1 seed at your house. You over there at Rose Field. There's no reason you should give up 60 points at your house. But they'll get that fixed. Hopefully, like I said, Coach Hall and that staff, man, I mean, they've been together for a while, so they'll get things fixed. And I know the snow can make things happen, but everybody played in the snow. It's not like one team came, it's not like the Bombers flew in from Florida or from California and it was hot. Hey, it was cold on both sidelines, so you can't make excuses for the snow. Both teams, hey, Peabody didn't have a problem playing in the snow. They put up 61 points and stopped you a couple of times, made you punt, so that just kind of tells you where you're at on that. We're going to jump into 4A real quick. Like I said, we'll come back to 5A when I get Coach Madu on it, and we'll talk Moses on there, and we'll talk a little bit about 5A. I know I've talked a little bit about the Bombers, but we'll talk about 5A when I come back. But we're going to talk about 4A real quick. Elk City over Newcastle, 28-21. Elk City was my dark horse, and Newcastle was my dark horse in 4A. Didn't get it done. I just tell you, man, when you put on those clicks on a Friday night and it's time to put on, the lights come on and the snow starts going, things happen. I think Newcastle have many opportunities to win. I mean, I know they got their quarterback will be coming back, and that team is young. So keep an eye on Newcastle next year. They'll be one of the top teams in 4A. Like I said, they're gonna Elk City's gonna take on Hilldale. That beat up over on McLean, beat them 32-0. But I tell you what Hisdale got. They got an outstanding running back at Eric. The young man. I mean, he had over 2,000 yards this year, 26 TDs. I think he's going to be too much for Elk City when they play each other in the second round. But you got to talk about Cushing. I think Cushing is a team in 4A that's going to win it all. I'm just going to put it hands down, man. When you got Blaze Perez, the young man, put up big numbers again on a snowy night, 14 for 24, 306 yards and 6 TDs. And that tells you right there. Let me say this again. He was 14 for 24, 304 yards and 6 TDs. Man, that's on a snowy night, folks. So tell me what would happen if he had a sunny night. Boy, he put it up on them guys real quick. I mean, Broken Bow was going home. He beat them 48-0. Next opponent for the Cushing is going to be Blanchard. I mean, they got the win over Weatherford, 14-12. I don't think that's enough points. Blanchard can put up enough points to keep up with Cushing. So I see Cushing beating Blanchard in the second round. So that's where you're at right there. I think you're going to have Cushing and Hisdale playing each other. Like I said, in the semifinals. And then you got Tuttle beat up on the Fighting Chicks or Chickasha, beat them 41-7. And then you had Wagner over Ada, 31-0. Wagner, I think they'll beat Tuttle when it comes to the next round. Tuttle won't make it back to the finals as they did the year before. But I just tell you, then you got Clinton beating up on Bethany in overtime. Bethany's a team that I kind of had high hopes for. Like I said, that district with Bethany, Tuttle. It was Bethany, Tuttle, Blanchard, and who's the other one? Newcastle. I had all four of them going to the Final Four, and it's not going to happen. But I just think, like I said, Clint knocked them off already in overtime. A really good ball game. But then you got Poto over Miami, 48-12. I think Poto and Clinton will play next round, and I think Poto will be too much for Clinton. And then, like I said, you'll have Wagner and Poto going at it in the semifinals, so that should be a good game. Like I said, we'll talk more about that next week when we get down to the semifinal games. Then you jump down over to the 3A. 3A, it's 3A is one of those, everybody got. I think they got, it's kind of wide open in 3A. When you start looking at it, you got Heritage Hall and you got Metro Christian, but Metro Christian took care of, business over Pauls Valley, beating them 41-14. Catcher Hall over Moto, 41-6. So you'll have Catcher Hall and Metro Christian in the second round, and I think Metro Christian to knock off Catcher Hall. Then you got Lincoln Christian over Bristow, 68-19. 68-19. Then you got Lone Grove gets upset by Kingfisher, 28-7. When somebody didn't make their extra point, and that's what it comes down to. Somebody didn't make the extra point. The snow came in effect and helped somebody not make the extra point. So you have Kingfisher knocking off Lone Grove, and then you'll have Lincoln Christian and Kingfisher hooking up, and and like I said, going to the semifinals. But I think in the second round, you'll have Lincoln Christian knocking off. They would knock off Kingfisher. Then you have Heritage Hall over Anadarko, 42-14. Heritage Hall knows what to do each year when it comes to the playoffs. Heritage Hall knows how to get there and win some state championship. They'll be taking on Stingers because Stinger was over Holland Hall, 34-27. A good ball game. In the second round, you have Holland Hall and Stinger, and I think you'll have Heritage Hall over Stinger. Play each other in the second round, and I have Heritage Hall beating Stinger, and then Verticus over Berry Hill, 28-0. Then you had Perkins Tryon over Marlowe, 49-0. That's a shocker because I thought Marlowe was a little bit better than that. As you can see, man, you get in the playoffs. And I'll tell you, that weather can play an effect, and you can see that right there, and that's what happened. But then you'll have Verticus and Perkins playing in the second round, and I'm going to have, Verticus knocking off Perkins Tryon in the second round. So, folks, it's getting really interesting when you get into these playoffs, man, and you start talking about who can win it, who can't win it, and it kind of shows you right there it's anybody's ball games. You got to come out and play the game. It just shows you right there, when you play these games, man, some of these teams got great records, but who are you playing in the non-conference? Each conference, we know they probably have 2 or 3 good teams, and after that, you got a couple cupcakes in your conference, and you're starting to see that. But, like I said, I think Lincoln Christian is the team to beat in 3A, and as you keep moving forward, you'll see that because I think they just find a way to win each year, Lincoln Christian. 2A, whoo, you know how that bracket is, folks. That bracket is big, We'll kind of go over it. I'm not going to go over all the scores, but we'll go over what's going on in 2A. It's one of those things that anything can happen in 2A. I like to see, Millwood is doing big things, man. They're winning ball games. They get the win, Friday night over Crossing. I think the score was 34-29. Let me make this a little bit bigger because I am getting old and can't see. Like I said, it's you had Millwood over Crossing, 34-29. Then you had Lindsay over Kingston, 48-27. So Millwood and Lindsay will play. I'm gonna take Millwood in this game. I think they should get the win. Then you had Eufaula over Henrietta, 14-12, a good ball game. And then you had SEQ versus Sperry. They win 48-15. So you'll have Eufaula taking on SEQ, and I'm gonna go with Eufaula because that's where the lake is at. So when you at the lake, what do? You take the football, you throw the ball around in the water. So that's what we have here. Like I said, 2A is a beast, folks. I'm just telling you right now. Talking to Michael Knight last week on the show, he said they're gonna end up breaking up that 2A division, which they should. You got to play 85 games to get to the championship, and I just think that's just way too many football games. So it'd be interesting to see what they do in the 2A bracket, moving forward. Then you had Davis over Frederick. Frederick gets the win over Davis, 6-12. And then you had Chandler over Henrietta. Chandler gets the win over Henrietta, 48-12. So you got Frederick and Chandler playing. I'm going to go check. Yeah, here we go. Thought I lost myself for a second. Then you got, like I said, you got Chandler over Frederick. So I'm picking Chandler to beat Frederick. Then you got Victory Christian, I think one of the hottest teams in the deal. They put up some points, folks, on a snowy night. 79-22 against Pawhuski. I hope I'm saying that right. Victor Christian put up 79 points, and Pawhuski put up 22. So that'd be really interesting. I'm gonna have Victor Christian. They'll be taking on Prague because Prague beat Hugo 34-14. I just think Victor Christian will be the team to beat in Class 2A. I know you got to give it up in 2A. You got to give it up to my man Red Martell for Biggs. They got beat by Verticus early this year. Pretty bad, and they found a way to redeem themselves, man. So big shout out to Red. Not only just beating Verticus, and I'm sorry, not Verticus, but Rejoice Christian beat them early this year, 70. I think it was like 70-16. And they redeemed themselves and come back and beat those guys in the first round. Not only did he beat them, but he also signed with Kansas. So Kansas is going to have another great back besides Deuce and whatever Kansas is a team. In the Big 12 is going to be solid. They are. They're building for the future. It's funny. I don't think OU has a great running back on campus, so I don't know why they're not going after Emmanuel or Red, Montreal from Biggs, because these guys are great running backs, and I know OU don't have no outstanding running back. The young man that's running now, he's a senior, so he'll be gone. So it's really interesting why OU didn't go after either one of these guys, and even the young man over at Carl Albert, ex-Rob, I know Iowa State just offered him, but why is OU letting these guys get out of state? And even Gundy, though, I know he got Richardson and Mix. He's been kind of playing different. Beginning of the year was all Richardson's, but I just think that he sees that Richardson's your third down back. If you need 1 or 2 yards, you bring him in. But, if you need to get outside and go and get some speed up the field, I think you bring Nixon in. I think that kid can go. I think he's the best back on the field. I know he played several different backs yesterday, but I still think Nixon's the best back on the field. So good luck to those guys. But like I said, I wanted to give, Red Montreal, a big shout out because, like I said, he got the win over Reese Joyce, the team that my man Michael Knight, I did send him a text and say, you picked them to win. But hey, Red Martell said, not today, Knight, because we're going to take care of business. And I even said to myself, how can you score 16 points and you get beat 70-16 beginning of the year? And I know it was beginning of the year and things change. People get better. Teams get better. You got film on them. You got plenty of film on them. So you find out their weakness. And I guess that's what they did because the man went crazy. He had a fantasy night. Then you got Viam taking on Sperry. They beat them 52-7. So then you got Kingford. I think Kingford's a team is undefeated. They beat Beggs, for the district championship. As a team, you got to keep your eye on. They beat Veneta 42-26. So you're gonna have Vian and Kiefer. I'm gonna go with Kiefer in this one. And then you got Jones right up the street. I tell you, new head coach, man, and he got things turned around at Jones. Longhorns, man. Each year they always have great kids they put in the college, so this just kind of tells you what Jones is at. So you're gonna have Jones. They played Newkirk, a tight game, and it came down. Somebody missed the extra point. The snow might have came into effect, folks. There was a lot of snow on the ground. If you haven't played in snow, I played in snow one time in college, and I tell you, my feet were frozen, my hands were frozen. So imagine trying to kick a football or try to catch a football or even throw a football. It could be kind of challenging. So I just think, Jones get the win, and they're going to keep on doing their thing, but they're going to take on Community Christian. They beat Holyville 49-14. Jones got to put up some points, so everybody thinks Jones can make it, but I'm gonna go with Community Christian on this one over Jones. So I know I'm gonna get some little bit of heat from my Jones people, even though I coached over at Jones last year, their little 6th grade team, and those guys went undefeated. So congratulations to those young men that's in 7th grade now going undefeated. They must have listened to what Coach Tony and Coach Roman had taught them last year, and then took it on to 7th grade. So good job to those young men. We already kind of talked about this game, but you're going to talk about it again because this is, Beggs put up 48 points. Last time they played Rejoice, they put up 16. They beat them 48-28. And I'm telling you what this game was. This game was, hey, we beat this team 70-16. They didn't come in this game ready to play ball. They came in this game like, oh, we already beat this team, so, hey, we're going to slide on there and slide on now. But guess what? Beggs had something for them. They had something for them. And guess what? Rejoice, you're getting ready for wrestling and you're getting ready for basketball, off-season track or whatever they got going on there, baseball, but you won't be playing no more football. So congratulations to your year. But Beggs, they end your season. So that's what happens there. You're going to have Ida Bell. They beat Wagner. Is that Wagner? Yeah, Wagner 42. I'm like, is that Wagner? Whatever that team is, Warner. 40. It's not Wagner because Wagner's in another division. You got Ida Bell beating Warner 42-7. So Beggs be taking on Ida Bell. I'm gonna get an edge to Beggs. I think they're hot right there. I think Red, he's already committed. He ain't got no pressure on him. Now just go out and play football. So you'll see what he can do on that. The best team probably in 3A football, I'm gonna say Washington. They won 50-7. I just think each year they get there. They always come up a little bit short, but I think John Hancock and the guys got them ready. They'll be taking on Oklahoma Christian. Oklahoma Christian beat Luther 24-12. I don't think Oklahoma Christian got enough for them, so should be really interesting to see that game. But I think Washington ended up knocking off Oklahoma Christian. Folks, like I said, we still got 5A to do. We still got much more football to talk about. We'll break down that Carl Albert Dale City game, probably the hottest game out. I will say I will not be here for none of the games in round 2. I'll be in Mexico, with my company. Me and some of the managers, we won a trip. So kudos to me and those guys. I will have my phone and my earphones in, listening to the game and getting ready, and cheering from miles away. But like I said, it's gonna be some great second round, matchups. I can't wait to get in this 5A because I think 5A is the most anybody can win it. There's 6 teams that can win it. I'm still saying whoever wins between these two got a chance to get to the gold ball. But I got a guy saying, Emmanuel Crawford saying, hey, you two might get there. One of y'all gonna knock each other off, but you got to come see me to get to the finals. So I tell you, man, Emmanuel Crawford put up big numbers too on Friday night. And I'm telling you, man, I watched the highlights of this young man, and man, the kid can run. If he gets to the second level, there's nobody catching him. I don't care if it's Kanigel. I don't care if it's Tayshawn. Ain't nobody catching this young man. I'm telling you, once he get in that secondary, you might as well say goodbye. Coach Jones probably ain't gonna agree with me on that because he's a track guy. But I'm telling you, man, the kid is moving. That team is the dark horse in 5A. And I'm gonna tell you got to watch out for Piedmont. Piedmont can score some points, but that flex bone is hard to prepare for in a week, man. I mean, you need weeks to prepare for that. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But like I said, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring it over to one of my sponsors. I'm missing my 2 guys, but I know they're cheering for me from far away. I got a little documentary that RT put together. I want people to see, man. The guy's in good work. I know his boys start wrestling, so I know he's on the top of that. I want to say congratulations to all the young men and women that got their 4.0 leather and jacket. That's big time. That tells you took care of business all through high school. You can be a great athlete, but I tell you, at the end of the day, you got to be a student athlete, and that's what those people that's done that. The football players and the wrestlers, Coach Hodges and Coach Dunn, great job of getting these guys that's taking care of business on the mat and then on the football field, but also taking care of business in the classroom. So as big time kudos to those guys, man. And then the swim team took care of business. You know, we had some pictures for the swim team. Congratulations to CA swim team. And, you know, basketball starting up, so that's right around the corner. I know every high school team is ready to get it going. Wrestling's kicked off a little bit. I know they're doing some open tournaments. And I just tell you, man, college wrestling's kicked off. My son has wrestled a couple matches. Don't ask me how he's done. He's 2-0, but he looks like a JV wrestler right now. Hopefully he can get it under gun. And that's me keeping it 100 because that's what I do. He's my boy. I'm gonna keep it real, but you know, he'll get it going. It's not how you're wrestling in December. It's how you're wrestling in February and March, and when Nationals comes around. So he's got to get himself going. You know, it's a big difference going from, you know, wrestling on a weekend, now you're wrestling during the week, and, you know, being redshirted, now you got to figure it out and do the right things. And he will, and he knows it, and, you know, we've talked about it. So hopefully you get it going. Shout out to the young Lady Titans, 6th grade and 8th grade team. Both teams is undefeated at 2-0. Coach E and you know, Eddie's doing a good job of getting these girls prepared. They have some tough games coming down the road, but so far the girls look pretty good. So, like I said, we'll take a quick break after, you know, with one of our sponsors real quick. We'll be right back to the what? I'm messing up, folks, but that's okay because that's what I can do. That happens when I ain't got my man Big E and my man Jonah, and then RT's doing his thing. But like I said, we'll be right back after one of our sponsors. Keep it 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. Be right back.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Line-X Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday. Like I said, Sunday, playoff Sunday. I got a special guest with me today, Mr. Mossis Madu, the outstanding running back at OU. Play a little college ball. Play a little NFL ball, a little bit of Canadian ball, but now he's the running back coach over at Bishop McGuinness. How you doing, Moses?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain, man. I get to talk to a great legend like yourself, man. Talk a little high school football. You know, like I said, man, I know you're preparing. You're taking a little bit of time out to, you know, talk to me, you know, about a little high school football. You know, the 5A Bishop McGuinness. You know, it's so funny, Moses. But before we get into that, but I want people to, you know, I want you to tell people. I've read up on you this morning, and I want you to tell people your story because, you know, you being a coach and trying to get these guys to the next level to play college ball.
Yeah.
You know, tell them about your story though, because I know you was a hometown kid that wasn't getting recruited by Oklahoma, and you know you had UCLA and TCU looking at you, and finally, you came knocking on the door. So tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Yeah. So Norman High, of course. My story is crazy, man. I mean, I won't necessarily say I was a late bloomer, but I mean, I didn't start until my senior year of high school at running back. Before then, I was starting at strong safety my sophomore and junior year, and then I was split time at running back. And then it was kind of just a story like, you know, a kid who had all the potential in the world and then finally got that chance and just took off and ran with it. I mean, got to start my senior year. My first offer didn't come to the third game my senior year. Going into senior year, I wasn't really being recruited by anybody, honestly. I was a no-name kid. I went to OU's football camp, and Bo Pelini was there, actually. He was a DB coach at the time.
Yes, sir.
And I actually shined as a corner there. And so they're kind of, you know, I was on the radar as a corner a little bit, you know.
Yes,
so I did good at the camp as a junior. But then I was really, honestly, a no-name. And then it kind of had some good games and blew up, and really everything kind of took off from there for me. My first offer came my third game of my senior year. Huge blessing, you know, and it's from UCLA. And then from there, you know, other schools, you know, fell in line. And so I'm kind of just almost an overnight sensation, you know. It's a huge blessing. My stories, every time I think about how crazy it is, you know, because kids nowadays, you don't really hear that happening too much, you know, especially to get the notoriety I had.
Yes, sir.
Nationally. I mean, rivals and all, you know, across all platforms, getting ranked as high as I did just off of 1 year play. You know, I wasn't a guy who started as a freshman on varsity or nothing like that. You know, built a name for myself. You know, and then from there I go to OU and then NFL for 3 years and then CFL for 6 years. So extremely blessed career for sure.
You know, Moses just tells young men, you know, I know you preach that, you know, being at Bishop McGuinness, you know, a high, powerful 5A team that's, you know, each year, you know, is always playing for gold ball. Color's been in the way a couple of times. As you can see, I mean, like this year, you guys are one game away from being undefeated. Colorado knocks you off. You know, I was at that game.
That one still hurts me.
But
still hurts me, man.
You know, Moses. What the funny thing is, I do this show weekly, and everybody's talking about Quita, everybody's talking about Del City, everybody's talking about Carl Albert, but Bishop McGuinness lose one game, and it's like they fell off the face of the earth. And so, and I'm just keeping it real because, you know, I do the Coach Jones show weekly with Coach Jones. But, you know, when I went and watched, you know, Bishop play, man, I went and watched you guys play against Guthrie. Great game, came down to the last-minute field goal. But I think Bishop has a lot to offer. You know, I'll tell you, a kid I'm in love with, man, and I think it's the name more than anything is your quarterback, River.
River Warren.
River Warren. That sounds like it sounds like a boat, like you on one of the Mississippi boats gambling. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it, I know it's high school sport, but I'm just telling you, the young man is a player though. I mean, I watched him; he's starting to get some.
He can go.
He can go.
Yeah.
And you guys got to, you know, Taffy. I know he just signed with Lindenwood. I know that takes a lot. It takes a lot of pressure off his back. But I tell you, number 2, your receiver. What's his name?
Tyrell,
he can go, and I know you got the.
He can.
You got number 30, the linebacker that came over.
Kaysen Bird.
Kaysen Bird, a good young man. They can help you in the backfield. But I tell you this, as a young man, and I know you probably coach him because you running back coach. Number 7, who is that young man?
Yes, so that's my guy, JP Spanier. He's a guy that came on for us as more last year. And then he's gotten better and better as the years gone along, man. He takes my coaching and immediately puts it to use. He's the kind of kid who wants to be coached hard.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, he wants to be coached. Like, he eats it up, man. And he'll be my guy next year with Mike graduating. I have 3 senior running backs, so he'll be my guy. And I'm gonna have a whole lot of fun with him, man, because he takes the coaching, like I said, and just immediately puts it to use on the field. And he's a sponge, and he's a super fast. He might be the fastest guy on our team.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I think he's faster than Ty. He's faster than number 2.
That's what I was going to say, Coach. He's a pretty fast young man.
Explosive.
Man. He got some great speed. But I tell you though, man, just watching him, I think he scored in the Carl Albert game. They called it back. It might have been about a 50-yard touchdown, but the kid.
That's my little Christian McCaffrey right there. So that's my Christian McCaffrey.
You couldn't
say running back who can go.
You couldn't have said it. Hey, you said it late, but got it straight. I'm telling you, the kid can go, man. I really like his game, man. I just tell you, man, he's gonna be a kid that you got to watch out for in the playoffs because I know everybody's gonna stack up on Taffy, but I just tell you, man, you get this young man the ball in space, man. He's gonna make some people miss and do some big things. But Coach, like I said, you know, everybody is fell off, you know, Bishop McGuinness's map. You know, you guys take on this week. You're gonna take on Quita, you know, the undefeated team at Quita. Yep. But Coach, I'm gonna be real with you. I picked you guys last week when I did a show with Michael McKnight, the guy from Prep Red Zone. We did a bracket. Me and him did a bracket together. I picked you guys to be in the finals. I got y'all knocking off Quita. I just think
that's love. I like that. But
this is why I say this, Coach. It's hard to go undefeated. And you know that.
Yes, it is.
You played like I said, you played at the highest level. It's hard for anybody to go undefeated. I don't care if it's little league. I don't care if it's middle school. I don't care if it's high school, if it's college and pro. Yeah. It's hard to go undefeated. So there's more pressure on Quita this Friday night than there's Bishop McGuinness because ain't nobody talking about Bishop. Only person talking about Bishop right now is me and you on this show. I'm just keeping it 100 because everybody's already crowned. And don't get me wrong, I like Coach Harper and I love Mason and I love Starks. Mm-hmm. I've had them on the show, but there's something about this game, man. And I'm just telling you, there's something about this game that kind of gets me fired up because I just think nobody is talking about Bishop. So hey, this is the best time to go in and rob the bank, and nobody gonna know that you've been there. So
you're right about that.
So what do you feel like it's going to take for you guys to beat Quita?
They're good up front. Watching film on them the last few days, their defensive front four is real good.
Yes, sir.
And we're real good up front as well too, offensively. You know that's all of them are seniors except for one guy, and so that's a unit we lean on a lot, especially with my senior running backs as well too. So I think we're gonna have to control the ball for sure. The run game is gonna be key to this game. I mean, we're such a well-balanced team. We could pound the ball all night on it, and we can go over your head too, or just nickel and dime if we wanted to.
Yes, sir.
So my thing is we have to be able to run the ball against them. And, use our best weapon, Taffy, back there. And so for me, we're gonna have to control the game up front. The teams that have had success against them, have been able to do that and things like that. But I think that where we can really win the game is in the trenches for sure.
Yeah, like I said, your front line is pretty big. Like I said, you guys got the outstanding receiver outside. Like I said, you got Taffy. I think he was kind of beginning of the year. I think he was kind of bugged by some injuries, but you can see now he's turned the notch. And hey, this is his last run at it.
Exactly.
Carl Albert's been in my way a few times, so this is my time that I can shine. We don't have to meet those guys into the to the finals. I tell people all the time. I think whoever wins that Carl Albert City game will be playing Bishop McGuinness in the state championship. I have not picked my winner on that yet, but I think that's who's going to be there. I just think if you guys get by Coweta, you'll probably play. I'm saying you'll probably play. I'm not a fortune teller, folks, so don't get mad. But he said they're going to win the game. I'm saying I'm just saying. Me looking at the game, studying the game, watching film, and all that. I think Bishop got all the right tools to beat Coweta. I just think they got the run game, the pass game. You got a good enough defense, and they play Bishop McGuinness don't make a lot of mistakes. That's why those kids go to a private school. They know 1, 2, 3, 4. If coach says let's go on 6, they ain't gonna jump. Some teams are not very disciplined, and so you guys are very, very well coached, well fundamentally sound. So it's gonna be a great game. But I think at the end of the day, I think you guys got the good, the good running back. Taffy, and I think don't take me wrong because they got some players. Starks is a great player.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Mason's is an undersized young man, but he plays like a bulldog. He's been trained by one of the best Dobbins. With his training, Mason's kind of the leader of that team. I call him the hometown hero. When he leaves, everybody's gonna cry. But I just think that Bishop McGuinness just got all the tools to win the ball game because, I think Rivers playing really good right now. I think Carl Albert kind of got him out of his rhythm a little bit. But I think, hey, we get to the coaching, let's get in here in front of film and see what we did wrong and what we can correct. You guys can be there. And, me and Mike Rogers talked the night that I wouldn't watch you guys play Carl Albert. He said he had picked Bishop McGuinness to win from week 0. That'll be the team that's going to win state. Like I said, I don't have a dog and a horse. I love talking high school sports. I think I'm glad Tom hooked us up. I think you do a great job over there with over there at Bishop. How long have you been over there? How long have you been there, Coach?
So man, this is my first year there.
Okay. So is this your first high school coaching job, or have you coached other jobs?
Before this, so I retired from the CFL in 2020 and went straight into coaching. I interviewed with some other companies, things like that, and I was like, man, I want to stay around football.
Yes, sir.
That other stuff just ain't me, And so I was at Oklahoma Christian Academy before then. That's actually where I know Tom from.
Okay,
yeah. And that's where we met. And then actually, I met him beforehand, but yeah, we coached there together, and then now I'm here at Bishop McGuinness. So, playing primetime football, big-time football at a program like this, I mean, it was hard for me to pass up. So, and I'm glad I'm here. It's a great place, great players, and kids who want to be good,
Yes, sir.
Kids who want to go out there and work hard, good kids who want to work hard and be good. So,
I tell you, I'm sorry. I tell you what I really like though. Going over to that game, watching them play Collar, man, the game was packed. Great atmosphere, and I mean, I know it's right that other people didn't have games, but just to see the green and the green and white, man, everybody supporting it, man.
Yeah,
I just love it, man. My brother, his youngest boy, I guess his oldest boy, he went to that Christ of. Whatever feeds into Bishop McGuinness, he went there.
Christ the King.
Yeah, Christ the King. So Noah, there's a good chance my nephew, he's a 2029 kid. There's a good chance, he could be up there at Bishop. But it just
he'll be in good hands.
I just see, year in year out, man, you guys are putting kids in college. One, they're gonna be ready for college, with the academic program that you guys have behind us. So you're gonna have these kids ready for college. So I just think, like I said, I think Bishop got a good chance. That's my dark horse. I don't know if you call them a dark horse. I just think you call it a team that ain't no one talking about. They lose one game and, like I said, they fall off the end of the earth. But I just think they still got a chance to go out and win the gold ball. So I just, like I said, I know you're in meetings and you took some time out to come talk to me, but I just want to kind of rap with you a little bit and, you know, talk about your team. And, you know, I think what you're doing over there for your first year is big things because, like I said, you know, having a guy like Taffy, I know it takes a lot of pressure off of him, you know, getting that, you know, signing with the school he signed with. Lindenwood is going to be a D1 school. So, they're great facilities up there. I know my boy Russ for UCO, so I've had a chance to be up there, man. It's a really, really nice looking campus, man. If anybody ain't been on it, but I'm telling you, they're going D1, so just tell you right there, man, that's big time. That's big time, man. You know, so he'll be taken care of. But Coach, before I let you go, you know, what's one of the things you're gonna tell the teams come this Friday night? You know, what you got to do to take care of business.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same message you preach every game. Execute, do your job, don't play outside of yourself, you know, especially games like this where it's a big time game. This is a state title matchup right here, you know?
Yes, sir.
So,
you're right.
You know, you got to go out there and say, hey, go out there and play your butt off, man. Go out there and have fun, leave it all on the field. Especially you seniors, go out there and leave it all on the field, man. Let the rest take care of itself, you know? Because when we're playing at our best, there's not very many teams that can beat us. So we go out there and leave it on the field, let the rest let the rest fall into place the way it's supposed to.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on, man. Like I said, we'll link up. Hopefully we can see each other in the state championship, give each other a hug and
for sure.
some love and like that, man. Like I said, go take care of business and you know, keep coaching those young men up. We love coaches like you.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
And I appreciate you coming on. You have a great evening.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, folks, that's Mossis Madu, man, the outstanding, like I said, played at OU, man. His story is great. I know he didn't get all into it, man, but, you know, when he was there, he played with DeMarco Murray, you know, Chris Brown and Patrick is it Patrick Fields? I think it was Patrick Fields back in the day. You know, he split time with all those guys until he kept working his way in the depth chart. Just tells you what type of young man he is. And so being a running back, now becoming a running back coach, he's giving that same knowledge that he learned at the University of Oklahoma, giving back. They probably need to go grab him and help him. I know they got DeMarco Murray, but they might need to grab him and have him help coach somewhere over there because bring back some of that Sooner magic because right now we don't have it sitting at 5-5. But I just want to say, you know, having Mossis Madu over there at Bishop McGuinness is a big time fit for those guys. Having a guy that's played, you know, college ball at the highest level, Power 5, then played in the NFL, then played some CFL ball, and won a championship, you know, with his CFL team. So that just tells you right now how much knowledge of football that he has and he brings to the Bishop McGuinness. So, but we're going to get into these 5As. Like I said, I want to kind of talk to him. I think Bishop McGuinness hook up with this week against, you know, Coweta in the second round. I know they got to get on that bus, you know, and it's going to be a nice charter bus because that's Bishop McGuinness. Everything they have is nice. They're going to get on that charter bus and head up to Coweta and play the No-Star Dogs. If you don't know who the No-Star Dogs are, that's Coweta's team. They're a bunch of dogs that, hey, they get after you and they're going to come play. And I'm not trying to take nothing from Coweta because, I mean, it's one of the teams that I said they can go win the gold ball because I think they got enough talent. The biggest thing I want to look for, how they're going to do the quarterback play. Are they going to keep Starks in there? Are they going to keep you know, Leverton, is he going to come in now? I know he broke his collarbone. He's back. I want to see how they're going to do that. You know, who's going to start at the quarterback? Because I think if you put Starks out there at receiver, you can do some big things. Now you got to have somebody cover him, not just Mason and the other guys they got. So it's going to be really, really interesting and see how that goes here in the next couple of weeks. But I think Bishop got the biggest chance to knock them off. If there's anybody on that side of the bracket, I think Bishop can do it. It's going to be really interesting. But like I said, we'll get into some of the scores from last Friday night's game. Like I said, we talked about Midway City getting beat. Upset alert. Upset by Piedmont, 61. I think the final score was 61-40. Way too many points. Enough points scored. I'm sorry, it was 60-41. Enough points to win the game, but gave up too many points to lose the game. You can't give up 60 points and think you're going to win. This ain't a basketball score, folks. That was a football score. I know it snowed here in Midway City, and I know it might have shocked some guys, but they got a chance to play in snow. Folks, if you never played in the snow, man, I know you can't get prepared. You can't keep your hands warm, your feet warm and all that, but you got to go play the game. You got to get ready for next week because if you lose the game, you're out. That's the way it goes down. If you lose, you're out, and that's what these guys got to realize. Hold on, make sure everything's good. Oh my, yeah, keep it 100 up there. I thought I said might have had Moses up there, but you can't lose a playoff game. The number 1 seed, not number 4, but the number 1 seed, and you get beat by the number 4 seed, Piedmont. coming out of the Carl Albert district, which that's a tough district, with Carl Albert, Guthrie, Bishop McGuinness, you know what I'm saying, Piedmont, the 4th seed. But I tell you, Piedmont gave Carl Albert a hard time, due the game. I know Carl Albert ended up beating them by a couple touchdowns, but at the end of the day, Piedmont was in the game. So that tells you right now, Piedmont moving on to the second round. They'll be taking on who? McAllister, Eric and the boys. Eric and the boys had the rematch with Collinsville. Guess what? Collinsville got the best of you last year, but Eric said, not this year. You're going home. But that game don't matter, Eric, because guess what? That's just first round. You still got 3 more rounds to go to get that gold ball that's sitting right here. So Eric will be taking on Piedmont. I'm going to get an edge. I tell you, it's going to be a tight ball game because why? That flex bone is hard to get ready for in one week. But I think Eric and the boys, and they got one of the best corners, got a pick 6 taken back just the other day. The young man leads, I think, 5A in picks. Keep doing your thing, big man, because somebody going to pick you up, man. That corner position is a very important position to play in high school football. But like I said, I think Eric and the Buffs will get the win over Piedmont. So they'll be moving on, and they'll be playing a winner between Bishop McGuinness and then Coweta. You could have a Coweta and McAllister rematch. Last time it went Coweta's way. Everything bounced their way. Everything they did went right, and everything that McAllister did went wrong. Do you want to see that again? I don't think you're going to see it. I think you're going to see Bishop McGuinness and McAllister play in the semifinals. You hear me? You're hearing it first on Keep It 100. And a lot of times I'm right. I'm going to say I'm right because that's why it's called Keep It 100. But I think you're going to have Bishop McGuinness knocking off Coweta 28-21. Don't get mad at me, Coweta folks out there. Don't get mad because I still got love for you in your no-star dogs. But I think Bishop McGuinness is a team ain't nobody talking about. Nobody's talking about. If you didn't even know, if you didn't open up the bracket, you wouldn't think Bishop McGuinness was in this bracket because ain't nobody talking about him. But I'm telling you right now, keep your eye on that Bishop McGuinness. Taffy, and I'm telling you, River Warren, I love that name. I'm telling you, if I was to have another kid, I'd probably name him River. River Johnson. River Johnson. Boy, that sounds good. That's me keeping it 100. But like I said, we're going to move on to the other side of the bracket where it gets hot and heated. You had Dale City knocking off Bishop Kelly. Bishop Kelly jumped out to 7-0. Coach Jones probably was like, what's going on? We down. Hey, snow's on the ground. People looking around. Like, what's going on? But, hey, knowing Coach Jones and that staff, he got a little bit of mix and say, hey, I'm not losing in the first round like I did last year. So he takes that loss that he got last year, throws it off his back. So guess what? He got a win in the playoffs now. So Coach Jones is 1-0, and he's looking forward to moving on to the next round. And guess what? Who he's going to run into? Because Carl Albert just beat their brakes off McAllister, 45-7. The game was over as soon as the ball was kicked off and the whistle when the ref blew the whistle. The game was over. Carl Albert scored on the first 3 possessions. Hey, I'll tell you right now, X-Rob is running hard. The Crazy said, I need more games. I need more film. I need people to look at me because I am a player. I got game, folks. I got game. Hey, I'm telling you right now, I got a chance to win the state championship. The Crazy going to give you everything you got, even though he got still in his collarbone. He going to give you everything you got because he want to go play for that gold ball. So you got X-Rob and you got the Crazy both running wild. They're doing some big things. You got Tayshawn James. They're going to come hit you. You come across the middle. It's going to be a great game. You got Dell City versus Carl Albert. Like I said earlier in the show, you got 2 guys that know everything about each other. What's going to happen? I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, Carl Albert is a team. My fault. Got my mic going static because that's how hard it is. Carl Albert's in the lab. I'm telling you right now, Dunn and all those guys, Corley, Johnson, Cam, all those guys in the lab. They got to shut down. This team got the most athletes that's going to be on the field in 5A, Dell City. I'm telling you right now, if you give my man QB D-Nice sometimes, he's going to pick you apart. The guy can beat you with his arm. He also going to beat you with his feet. But I'm going to tell you what Coach Jones did, though. Coach Jones is kind of like Christmas. He waited till it was almost Christmas time. He said, I got something for you players in the playoffs. And they said, what's that, Coach? A man named Aaron Carter. That man is a grown man. He was on the Keep It 100 Coach Jones show. I sat next to the guy. He had me scared. He had him playing linebacker, but he got this young man playing running back. And he runs like, man, he runs kind of like Vernon Maxwell back in the day. The guy, his feet is off the ground. once he get in the secondary, you ain't trying to hit him, because I'm going to tell you why you ain't going to try, because it's going to be 38 degrees next Friday night, maybe a little snow, but hey, everybody's played in the snow, so you can't use snow as an excuse. But I'm telling you right now, Aaron Carter is a difference maker. And number 28, Mr. Green, kid's just a sophomore. I'm telling you, I love that man. I told Coach Jones got some guys in the backfield that can go. Now he can move Braylon Adama just on defense, or he can put him at slot receiver. He can do a lot of different things. I'm telling you right now, you got 4 backs that can go, but I'm telling you, those 2 that can really go is Aaron Carter and Mr. Green. And I'm telling you, hey, you're going to need both of those guys. And I tell you right now, Carl, I was trying to figure out how can we stop Canigel, because every time you play in the game, the young man has a big catch. I think he needs 3 or 4 more touchdowns to break Del C's record, and the kids don't even get talked about enough. They left him off the deal at Red Prep, what is it called? Red Prep, whatever prep it is. Prep Zone Red, whatever it's called, Prep Zone Oklahoma. They left him off the list of player to watch. How you going to leave a young man like that that's going to a Power 5 school? Each week, all he does is score a touchdown, and you leave him off the list of players to watch in 5A. But guess what? He was on Keep It 100's players to watch, because I'm telling you, the young man got game. Canigel can go. It's going to be hard for somebody to try to cover him one-on-one, especially if D-Nice get the ball to him over top. You ain't catching. The kid's he's a track star. He's probably going to win the 100, 200, and anything else he runs this year. I tell you now, you move Foreman in a little bit. Coach Jones is, hey, he in the lab too. Him and Jason McDonald, I'm telling you, they gave him some love. I know he gets beat up all the time about the offense, but hey, you ain't got to show everything, folks. Now he can show everything, because now, hey, it ain't nothing to hold back. It's playoffs. What they say? Playoffs. One more time. Playoffs. So it's playoffs time. So I'm telling you right now, keep your eye on Del City Eagles, man, because whoever wins this ball game has got a chance to go play for this gold ball. And I do mean that 100%. But hey, there's another young man that's talking back there, Emmanuel Crawford. He said, wait a minute, time out. Don't give them ball yet, because, hey, we're going to take care of business against Guthrie. Guthrie knocks off Elgin. Hey, another team in that district where Midwest City was at, I think it was all fake love over there. Ain't nobody in that district ready to win. They all was ready to go to basketball, wrestling. Nobody wanted to go to the second round. That is sad. You can't how's one district everybody get beat? Not one team won in that district, but that's okay, because Emmanuel Crawford said, hey, we ready over here at Grove. You got to come up to Grove. So Guthrie and the Blue Jays, you got to make that road, that little turnpike drive up to Grove, and guess what? He going to beat you by 2 touchdowns. The kid is running crazy. He's running out. He's running wild. I love it, man. And ain't nobody picked him up. Check this out. 27 carries, 304 yards total, 6 TDs on a snowy night. On a snowy night. He kind of like Blaze. If I'm starting a fantasy football team, those are my 2 first guys I'm going to pick. And I'm going to give Red Martell too, because he's putting up big numbers too. And just tell you, this 5A is the toughest bracket. I'm telling you, it's the toughest bracket out there, because you got 5 to 6 teams that can win it. Win it. I'm talking about win it. And I don't know who's going to win it. I keep saying whoever come out of these 2, but the other side is tough, because you still got Quita. You still got Bishop McGuinness. You still got McAllister. And, hey, somebody told me today, I think Piedmont could be the 4th seed. I don't know about that. I don't know if Piedmont got enough in the tank. They don't throw the ball good enough. You still got to throw the ball to win in 5A, 6A, and all. You still got to be able to throw the ball. And I don't know if those guys can throw the ball good enough to keep up with these other teams. I know Del City can throw the ball. They can go 5 wide. Now they can come in with Aaron Carter and run the ball between the tackles, and the kid runs hard, because he's kind of like, I'll tell you right now, next Friday night is going to be the Aaron Carter show and the X-Rob show. Whoever has the most yards at that end of that game is going to win the ball game. You hear me? You heard it. It's going to be cold. You ain't going to be, hey, you got to think. Quarterbacks don't want to throw that ball in the cold. They're going to hand it wild. I can just hand it off to my big running back, and he can get me 5 to 6 yards. Whoever stays ahead of the chains, whoever don't have turnovers, whoever don't have penalties. Penalties hurt you. You got to stay ahead of the change. You got to be 1st and 5, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 2. You can't be 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. Those are hard to get. It's easy to get a 3rd and 2. It's easy to get a 3rd and 4. You got to be ahead of the chains. Who has a better defense? I think Carl Arbor has a great offense. I think Del City has a great defense. But when they both come together, who's going to make it happen? I'm telling you, it's going to be a chess match. You got 2 guys that's been together for 9 to 10 years, man, that knows everything about each other. I said it a few weeks ago. Robert knows Don's favorite Kool-Aid. Don knows Robert's favorite apple pie. or cherry pie, whatever pie it is, because they're like brothers, folks, and it's going to be a great ball game. I'm telling you right now, it sucks they both got to play in the second round, but hey, it happens. It happens. If you take care of business, you wouldn't be playing each other into the first round, but things happen. Robert's lost some tough ball games. He's lost against McAllister this year. He's lost against Coweta. He's lost to the best teams in the state. Both teams was number one when he lost to him, and he lost to him by, a total of 2 points. 2 points. Last year, Robert played Carl Albert, beat him pretty bad at Carl Albert. So you don't think Carl Albert's still thinking about that? You don't think about how bad they got beat at home by them? Oh, yeah, that's on the bulletin board. Hey, this week's going to be a lot of bulletin board stuff. Hey, who's a better team in Mid-Dale? Who's Mid-Dale's brother? Who's Mid-Dale's little brother? We're going to find out this Friday night, folks, when those two hook up. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a great game. I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to watch it, but I will be watching it from my phone. But I'm telling you, got two great coaches going at each other, two great programs going at each other, both in 5A. Hey, I tell you, 5A's gotten tougher when you added the Bombers and you added Dale City. And I tell you, Elgin's the team you watch out for. I know they got beat out already, but they're young. I'm telling you, it's going to just get better and better each year, folks. I'm telling you, with the talent, Coach Jones got a lot of talent coming back. Carl Albert got a bunch of talent coming back. Elgin got a bunch of talent coming. And those Bombers are young. They real young. Real young. They got to replace DJ Irvin, but they still got some guys that can go. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen in these next few weeks. I'm just telling you, I'm excited about the game, but, not taking down from Coweta, but I think Bishop McGuinness can get the win. I know people's going to be mad. Like, man, we've been on your – folks, it's called Keep It 100. I don't have a team in a dogfight. I love all the teams. But at the end of the day, somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. That's just where it goes, man. I got better as the show went on, man. I was missing my two guys. But when you get to start talking high school football and teams that I know a little bit more about, hey, I get fired up, folks, and that's what it's all about, getting fired up talking high school football, man, on one of the greatest shows. I'm going to tell you right now, one of the greatest shows in high school sports, and that's Keep It 100. Even though I'm missing my two dudes, Mr. Ethan Davis and Jonah Lewis, and RT out there doing his thing. But I tell you, it's going to get exciting, though. We'll have the Coach Jones show this Wednesday. We'll drop it on Thursday. I got to have it dropped because I'll be heading on the plane Thursday morning. I'm excited, but I'm going to tell you something, though. I love doing this show, man. We will be doing our scholarship between 500 to 1,000, so keep that in the books because we will be giving that away to a young man or a young lady, whoever deserves it, and that's what it's all about, man, is giving back to the kids. Not about me making any money off Keep It 100. It's not what I need to get paid by. I want to give back to the young to the young generation because that's who needs it, man. If it's buying them a laptop, buying them some lunches, buying them a parking pass, whatever it is, because college is expensive. At the end of the day, that's why I want each one of these kids to get a scholarship so when they do get out of college, they don't have any debt. So you want it paid off. But, folks, I'm going to drop this little deal that, RT made this deal a couple weeks ago, man, for Carl Albert. Man, they can get it to come up. I don't know if I can get it to come up. Oh, here it is right there, folks. Oh, wait a second. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Hold on. Let me see if I get a little volume in it. He made this for my girl, man. I'm just telling you, man. It's this guy's big time, man. I'm telling you, if you need some pictures taken, some stuff done, man, it just tells you how good this guy is, man. My mic is fired up because it knows this video's tight. And this is Kobe. Zoe's favorite player is Kobe Bryant, man. And when Kobe passed away and his daughter passed away, I know she was sad. That's why she was the number 24. She was the number 2 for Kobe and his daughter. It just tells you, man, with the work that RT can do, man. I'm just telling you, granted, he might not be on this show every day, but he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and I just want people to see his work, man. He does outstanding work. This Carl Albert team, man, the future looks bright for the yellow. I'm saying the Yellow Jackets. That's because my boys was there. I'm sorry, folks, for the Carl Albert Titans, man. The Lady Titans. It looks outstanding though. So that's where we're at, man. Keep It 100 is gonna keep doing this thing week in and week out. I appreciate everybody watching it, giving us the likes, the views that we get each week from the Keep It 100 show, the Coach Jones show. Went out last week and did some stuff with Newcastle. I feel bad because it seems like every team I went out and visit, they got beat. But a lot of these teams got a lot of kids coming back. It was good to go see Newcastle's facility. Thank you, AD Goose, for letting me come out. And, Coach, over there at Newcastle for letting me come out and hang out with them for a day. Then I got the chance to go out and watch Mirror City practice. I was really, really shocked. I really thought the Bombers would be the team to beat, man. I mean, I thought I had them as my dark horse. I actually had them beating McAllister, playing Bishop McGuinness in the semifinals. It didn't work out that way. That's what happens when you do a bracket. Sometimes it don't go your way. But I think Mirror City has enough talent. But I just think the snow came in and they freaked out. Nobody wants to tackle when your hands are cold and your feet are cold. It changes the game around, but I'm telling you, it's going to be the same type of weather this come Friday night, so be ready, be prepared. Good luck to all the teams that's moving on to the second round, getting ready to move on to semifinals. I think we're going to have some great semifinal matches. We'll be out there supporting teams, getting film, doing interviews. So good luck to all the teams out there, to all the coaches out there. The biggest thing is everybody staying healthy and being safe. And like I said, we want you to keep liking, keep subscribing to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports, because I think what we do is live. We're not behind just a Twitter page. We let you see our face. We let you see us. We try to give back to each kid. We have kids tagging us in their offers now and all the things they're doing. I appreciate that, man. Keep doing it. Keep balling out. Got a chance to go out and see Dell City, outstanding basketball player. He signed with Oklahoma State Garrison. The kid is so tall, man. I'm still looking up to him. But a young, great athlete. Mom, got a chance to talk to her. She's done a great job with her son. And you can tell he gets it from his mom, and dad and stepdad. So just a well-spoken young man. He called me over and got a picture with me. Sometimes you got a kid that big. This kid was on the Olympic junior team. He don't need Tony Johnson from Keep It 100. He got everybody and their mama trying to talk to him, get pictures with him and all that. But it just makes me feel good when you can be part of that. Lenny Hatchett asking me if I want to get in there and get film. I got a little bit of film, but I just want to thank Coach Hatchett for doing that, man, and let me be part of that, and Coach Jones let me be part of that, man. So I thank you to everybody. Be safe. Like I said, I don't know when we do another show. I'll be out of town until Sunday, but we'll get the semifinals up. I got to get with Ethan and Jonah, and then we'll go from there. But like I said, make sure you check this show out. I know I wasn't the greatest, but hey, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous doing it by myself, because a lot of times you got somebody you can bounce it off, and today it's all me. So sometimes you get to stutter them better than gooding. But like I said, I like to thank Coach Moses again for coming on. And like I said, once again, thank you for watching another great episode of Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. That's it, folks.
I gotta keep it 100. My man keep it 100. My ladies keep it 100. My peoples keep it 100. 100.